whatsoever has taken place in the last century or so.
And they've got a lot of tricks, too. They will, all over the world, and this is on record now, we posted the mainstream articles where they admit it. In the last 20 years, these funded groups have set up their own reading systems, or they have contracted with airports, or they've contracted with weather centers on top of buildings where they know the temperature is going to be many degrees hotter, and that's right. Another way.
It's called the urban heat island effect. And what this means is that the weather sites, where temperatures have been measured around the world, originally they were built maybe on the edge of town, and as civilization, as cities have grown in size, so the area surrounding the weather gauge has become more and more built up. Some of these things are sited near airports. So what this means is that inevitably the temperature records they're keeping have been distorted by the urban heat island effect of the cities, because cities are warmer than the country outside. That's how it works. So how are we to trust these records which show that the Earth is getting warmer, when it may simply be the result of the urban heat island effect? But that's not all. What happened in the sometime between the 1970s and the 1990s is that they vastly reduced the number of weather stations used to compile the world temperature data records. And what they generally did, these organizations like NASA and the Climatic Research Unit, was that they cherry-picked the temperature data sites that suited their cause, i.e. they ignored the ones at higher latitudes and higher altitudes, and they concentrated on the ones which would show that the world was getting warmer, and then kind of took an average. Now, inevitably, what happened is that you saw this upward tick in the graph, which is exactly what they want, because an upward tick in the graph shows that the world is getting warmer, it must be man-made, and action must be taken.
But the Russians and others came out and exposed that, and then they've now been forced to admit that they did indeed do that. They would just take the warmer southern areas and create an average for the entire country for the frozen north as well. The frozen northern areas of Russia, Siberia and many other areas, of course they're a lot colder than southern Russia. I mean, this is bona fide fraud, and what ClimateGate proves is they're all coordinating with each other to engage in fraud.
Yes, it is, I have to say, a conspiracy on a very, very large scale. And it unites some oddly disparate groups, because on the one hand you've got the yogurt-weaving eco-loons, the green activists, who have found themselves in this weird, unholy alliance with big oil, big banks, Rothschilds, Goldman Sachs, in alliance with the technocrats of the European Union, in alliance with scientists at various government-funded institutions. It's a very strange and broad coalition campaigning for this.
Well, the communists always work for the banks. In every case, we find that, because the big banks don't want freedom. In many cases, they want monopolies, and a gang of machine gun-toting hippies can deliver it. We'll be right back with our guest. Stay with us.
We all know that the Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 4 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water systems. The revolutionary Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels, and removes harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping, an $87 value, yours free, but only for a limited time. Just call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653 now to order. That's 1-877-886-3653, or order online now at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Hounded by debt collectors with phone calls and letters? Thinking of calling a debt relief company? Don't. Greedy lawyers and debt companies charge thousands. Why pay when you can get their solution absolutely free with New York Times best-selling author Herb Kay's #1 debt secret, the how-to on stopping the calls without paying the debt companies. Yes, free for a very limited time. Here's Herb Kay.
Don't get ripped off by credit repair companies when I can give you the information you need to do it yourself for free.
Herb Kay was right. His free information helped me stop the calls and settle my debt.
What have you got to lose? Stop the calls now, get out of debt, and have more money. Get Herb Kay's #1 debt secret absolutely free now. Call 888-352-7726. That's 888-352-7726. 888-352-7726.
JamesDillingPole.com, that's his website, best-selling author on Obamaland, with us for the rest of the hour as we chronicle all of the fraud coming out and the fact that they're now capitulating because they know the stonewalling has backfired on them. Now they're saying, yes, we did make it more severe than it is to convince you that you need to be saved by us, but it still is bad. And I've got quote after quote where they're basically saying that, and it's coming out that Al Gore is making all this money. The Rothschilds own one of the big carbon trading scams. Pachari's hooked up with all of them. Another IPCC scientist reveals how UN scientists talked about trying to make the IPCC report so dramatic that the U.S. would just have to sign Kyoto Protocol. That's in mainstream news. Even CNN's reporting that. The BBC's having to admit that there's problems. I mean, they wouldn't report on ClimateGate for, 3 weeks after it broke?
That's right. I think what you're going to see happening next, Alex, is that there's going to be a period of retrenchment where all the warmists suddenly say, okay, hands up, we admit there may have been a few mistakes. And you know what they're going to do next? They will chuck Pachauri off the back of the sledge to the wolves. And they will hope that while the wolves devour Pachauri, the sledge can move on through the snow and they'll escape. It ain't going to happen. We wolves aren't going to allow it to happen.
Same thing on Bankergate with Geithner and Bernanke. There's no way they're getting out of this now.
Well, I would sincerely hope not. I mean, these are bad guys doing bad
But that's what I
things.
mean. Chunking them overboard isn't going to be enough. I mean, people are really starting to get it.
Yeah, Alex, I think something incredible is going on right now. I mean, I really feel like we're part of a really exciting movement. We are storming the Bastille. The Berlin Wall is coming down, and we, the people, are definitely winning against the forces of darkness. But having said that, although it is an exciting revolutionary moment, and it's really great to be part of this wonderful, popular uprising, which incidentally is supported by the U.S. opinion polls. If you've seen the latest Pew opinion survey, which shows that Americans are less interested than ever in the idea of man-made global warming. They just don't believe it anymore. They think the whole thing stinks. So the people are on side. But unfortunately, what you have is government, you have big oil, you have a lot of the big capitalist companies, you have the European technocrats. You have
but see, James, that shows the hoax. Almost all of big oil has been aligned